just want to say, not encouraging anyone to commit any form of suicide or suicide as some sort of option to deal with your problems. But when you hear me speak on death, it's from a perspective of understanding it in a spiritual context, of understanding it's a process of transformation. You go ahead and drop yourself out before your time, you're just gonna come back. Suicide doesn't solve anything, and only causes pain to the people that you left behind that don't understand, and you're just gonna come back anyway. It's about doing the work and going through a process of understanding who you are and why you are in the situation that you're in through spiritual knowledge, so that when it is time to pass and transition over, you do so accordingly at the right time in peace, so you don't have to come back. So suicide is not something that I promote, but understand when you hear Honourable from Daft Punk talking about death, it's not for the love of just wanting to take your life to deal with your problems. It's about reconciling your problems here first before you transition to the other side, so you don't bring your humanship with you and your spiritual life that causes you to come back and reconcile. Because you'll just get chucked out of that frequency. You bring low vibration things into the higher realm, it cannot work, the resonance doesn't work. You'll be sent back to reconcile and filter off and siphon off, so disclaimer.
Also, when it comes to those feelings, they're often a message. So
100%.
When you work with those feelings, you'll find on the other side of that, you will feel, once you go in and start to work through that pain and that, or whatever it is that's bothering you, on the other side of that is the growth. Do you get what I'm saying? That is where that growth happens, and where you start to feel like, oh my God, I was gonna kill myself, but if I did that, I wouldn't have been able to experience this.
I said 666 to explain the chemical composition of carbon: 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons. Carbon being one of the main compounds in melanin in the first place. Bro, so obviously they refer to 666 as like the devil number, or the devil, right? And Lucifer. Now we understand that Lucifer means the light bearer. The word Lucifer means the light bearer. He is the fallen angel, the war in heaven, fallen angel, and he fell because he was trying to overthrow. So they say. The metaphysical understanding of that is the fall of Lucifer is synonymous with the fall of man. It's fall of when I say man, I don't mean just the masculine. I mean one who is master, able, and noble. So I got that from Robert C. Freeman L. out of Moorish Science. One who's master, able, and noble, the fall from the spirit into the physical world. Yeah, you are cast out of him. We are cast out of our heavenly being and come into this dense and physical reality, and we are held below. Because in true spirituality, the physical body is held to the soul. You have to feed, you have to eat, you have to find something called money, you have to this, you have to that, in order to thrive. You have to go through trial and tribulation. By the sweat of your brow you shall eat bread. That is the sentence. That is the sentence. The sentence is to be locked down in this physical hell until you can return to your proper place, which is freedom. Freedom of the physical shell. Freedom of something that limits the expression of the soul.
Sure shit.
Yeah?
The only thing that causes death is life. Everything in between is just words and stuff. But the guarantee is, once you come here, you're gonna leave again. It's just like everywhere else, isn't it?
Oh, so you're saying that death is guaranteed?
Death is guaranteed.
Yes.
Once you come in, you have to leave. So once I come here, I'm leaving. That's everywhere.
So then you have to think, okay, if death is guaranteed, is it by design?
And why would you doubt the design? Why would you question the design? It's because of the stuff in between.
Yeah, I was about to say, but like you said, even when we look at representations, you've got, like you said, you've got Darth Vader, black. You've got, what has the name gone out? I mean, Grim Reaper, black. Everything that represents black is darkness. What are most children, what do they say they've got a pharaoh? The dark. So I think the blackness is pushed and it's always, once you see the light, that's a good thing. If you're gonna die, you see the light. They don't represent that going to the other side as dark.
Right.
So you always have to wait for this white light to be seen the good in something, when really the blackness is stillness. And that's where most people are. The chaos is in the light. So no one pays attention to the fact that when the light's on, you see, if you go into a room and everyone's in there but everyone's quiet and you turn the light off, you don't know if you're in the room by yourself or not, unless you hear breathing, unless you hear movement. But you could be at peace. The minute you know people are in there, you start getting panicky. When the lights are on, it's there's loads of people in here, but you weren't panicking when the room's dark.
Let me tell you something, and it's because we have been conditioned to see light as positive and always go towards the light. You don't realise when you read spiritual knowledge, you find out that going towards the light is the one way trip to coming back. The point is to get off the hamster wheel. So you don't go towards the light. I'll tell you why you go into the darkness, because it says, in the beginning there was the Word, and the Word was with God. And then it said, God said, let there be light. So before God said that, God was where?
In the darkness.
Right. The Lord of the darkness. Who do we refer to as the Lord of the darkness?
Undertaker.
Lucifer. Satan.
I watch wrestling.
You
Don't
remember?
worry. Don't watch me.
The Lord of the darkness is Lucifer, Satan. The Lord of the chaos. Lord of the chaos realm. They spin that on you to keep you away from it. When in actuality, it is the beginning of the thing that gave you life. The beginning of light is darkness. Because darkness represents, it represents a couple of it. Darkness represents, think of all potential possibilities occurring simultaneously. I'm going to say, all potential possibilities occurring simultaneously. That is the definition of chaos. You can't fathom that.
Right.
Go on.
Two-part question.
Yeah.
First part, it
Yeah.
definitely needs a suicidal disclaimer.
Yeah.
And the second part
Yeah.
is
You do that, you're just coming back.
based on what you guys are saying, right? And based on how society views each individual topic,
Yeah.
Satanists
Yeah.
would then be overtly holy, if that makes sense.
I hear what you're saying, and I want to say this now. I'm not into what is put out there as Satanism and into that Satanist business. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about this stuff you see, stuff that comes out of Halloween, scary stuff. I'm interested in cutting through all of that and understanding that it's not so much as the red devil Satan image that I'm trying to fight against subconsciously. It's the understanding that the source of all things comes from the light that doesn't work in this dimension. You cannot see with these two eyes. It is this eye, but this eye is shrouded in darkness. It's only when this eye is shrouded in darkness that the light comes on. It is the dark light. It's the other side of light. Because the light is a frequency, right? If we are being emitted with frequencies that we cannot perceive in our current state, we cannot see it. If you cannot see it, it is what? Dark.
Yeah.
So the light of these two eyes, the light of this eye appears as darkness to these two eyes.
And I only get that through ceremony because
Through
when I did ceremony, because when I wasn't seeing stuff like there was a seeing here.
Yeah.
Right. The projection.
Yeah, like it's like you're not using. There's something here. I can't explain it. It's hard to explain it, but there's like something here which you can't really truly fathom in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's the technology, man, because it's like, our windows, this pair is the most deceptive organs that you have. Because it's like, we've been made to think that everything that's important is outside of us, not inside. Within would be the darkness. Through us being lied to and indoctrinated, we see everything not as it is. Because of everything, really. It's like
See the
you have
beautiful light.
eyes, this is what that is, this is what that is, this has a name, a meaning, but really we can never really truly see it for what it is because the etymology is not there. So it's like I see a house. Is that a house? Of course it's not a house. Bricks. Once you remove that, once you tear it all away, it's not what it is. So, because everything's been labeled and it has meanings, and we brought it into this, especially through the visual, it's taking us somewhere else, where we're not supposed to be. Because all these things, their narrative isn't for us, it's for them. Profit, gain. So, to get through all of that,
The other thing is about, I think for me, what's been quite vivid quite recently, through personal experience and then just doing lots of research and seeing what Kemet was all about, and certain, like the Black Panther tribes, the real ones, they practiced death, but not like physical death, but they would take Black Panther mushrooms, which they could actually experience death, or a kind of death, where, like a feeling of death.
You come outside.
And what you start realizing or hearing from multiple tribes and multiple people is when you don't have the fear of death, what can they kill? And so, it made me think about terrorism. You've got these guys who are willing to blow themselves up. Why would they be scared of you? And that's scary to these guys, because they're like, well, we're going to kill you. Okay, I want to die. Oh, damn. So you just remove the fear, and actually can be very liberating for people. So people can be like, well, actually.
So I'm asking from the So if you remove the fear from the general masses, it's either going to go extremely bad for everyone.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this goes into saying, and answers it all the same. It's like what do you call it? Paradox.
Yeah.
It's one and the same thing. Where if you remove some limitations are actually good, and some would be bad.
Some are necessary and some are not.
So
If you had society running around fearless of death, then it would be chaos.
right.
Or
I'm gonna answer that question. You are 100% correct, and this is what I wanted to get to. I wanted to add a bit of realism to what we're talking about as well. We're talking about quite an abstract spiritual concept. No one in this room wants to die right now. If we were in a life-threatening situation, we would do everything we can to try and survive. We've got things to live for, and we naturally just don't want to die. That is natural, and it's about understanding that about yourself. We're not saying that when a death situation comes, we're gonna stand up brave and don't fear death, just randomly. That's not realistic. That's not true. That's, when you was asking me before about why I do the Daft Path and what I'm trying to show, is bringing realism to this spiritual understanding of things. It's not that we don't respect death, but you understand it for what it is. When it's the time and place for that to occur, this is what is going to happen. In the meantime, however, you've got something to do, because you're here. The purpose of religion, word religion means to bind. The purpose of religion was to give those that were not ready to digest the deeper spiritual concept baby food. You get a set of rules and morals and rituals to perform in order to prepare you for the next level, in order to prepare you in terms of your rudimentary behavior. You don't treat women, sir. This is how you're supposed to treat women. Yeah? You don't do certain things on this particular day, you do on this particular day because of X reason. Now the reasons why you do things have been lost, it's just ritual and just following the crowd. But the whole purpose of it was to prepare you to enter into the inner sanctum of the temple. You had to go through the religious thing first. So, going to your question about if everyone just removed the fear of death, it would be chaos. Yes. So what you have to have is a filtering process. You can't let everyone know what the true thing is about death is. You have to slowly filter them through first. First understand self, understand your current situation, understand who you are, what you're doing, your purpose, and how you begin to approach being able to understand that there's more to you when you finish here. But I can't go and give you the oxtail when you ain't dealt with ackee and saltfish for a morning. Do you understand? So you're 100% right. The purpose of religion, the purpose of having a process of studying, going through a process of refinement in order to be able to receive the true and deeper mysteries is necessary.
Right.
'Cause I'm only saying that because I said before about my granddad,
Mm.
and he passed recently, and obviously I've only known my UK side, British side. But when he died, what was so vivid for me was they called it Call to Eternity. And I was like, I don't know if they're conscious of this or unconscious, but that's something for me because of the studying I've been doing. I'm like,
Well, a lot of times on the
you
on
call
the-
it Call to Eternity?
There's your self-revelation moment because you've been doing the work. Knowledge, power, self-revelation. If you hadn't gone through a process of study and understanding what that knowledge that you've gone through means for yourself, you wouldn't be able to see that when they said that at your granddad's funeral.
Yeah.
It's like it.
It was on the leaflets and stuff, and I'm like, do they even
Come on, bro.
get that, what they're saying here? To
No,
me,
they
how
don't.
vivid
But it's
that
for
was.
you. And this is
Yeah,
why
yeah.
it's called the knowledge of self. It's for
They
you.
don't. They don't.
Huh?
No, so they
I
do
don't.
need to-
No, but then the thing is, it was hard because it was like, yeah, this is what they're saying, but then they're talking about white Jesus.
Right, it's exactly
So
what
I was like-
so there's
was like-
remnants of a deeper understanding, in especially
Understanding
yeah,
syntax.
yeah, but understand, because you would say to them, because it sounds nice, it appeases the ego, makes you feel nice in a sad situation. Quite frankly, that's bullshit. That's not
Yeah.
spirituality.
There's levels.
Yeah.
There's levels. What you're supposed to understand is, cool, grandpops, I'll shout you later. To deadly mean that, because you're still here. Because through my culture, I'm supposed to have a process of being able to commune with you, because you are now in the realm of eternity. You are now in the realm of where you can provide me information on the other side
As a guide.
to help me navigate and guide, which is where ancestor reverence came from. So, just saying, oh yeah, he's gone to eternity, to do what exactly? Sit down and do what? There's an energy, you are an energy signature. Your soul self goes off, but your energy signature stays within the capacity which is called the astral realm, which is what you tap into when you meditate. That is how you're able to channel certain energy or spirit. People call it spirits. It's just an energy signal or frequency, like you tune in your radio.
Yeah.
So if you truly understand, yes, he's gone to eternity, you would bawl for your grandfather. Yes, go through the emotion.